ètò wo lo ní láti san fún? Gízo ìlú Dehumi nǹkan tí ó lè ṣu pẹ̀lú àwọn ènìyàn ìlú rẹ̀. Àwọn òyìnbó mìíràn wà tí ó lè sanwó fún mi dáadáa lórí ọmọ ènìyàn mi.
I serve a great white queen, as mighty as you. I think you would not like to anger her.
Ó sì mú ọmọ náà gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀bùn láti ọ̀dọ̀ ọba kan sí òmíràn.
Come with me. I've got you.
You know, you never seem to practice, and yet you play so well.
Played all the time when I was a little girl. As an only child, I needed to break the silence.
Although I must say, your choice of music is not, it's not very seasonal. Play one of those English carols. Christmas is my favorite time of year.
The holly and the ivy now are both well grown. Of all the trees that are in the woods, the holly bears the crown.
Oh. Right. So. There. Lovely. Now, why don't you go down to the kitchen and tell the cook to give you one of those nice currant buns you like so much?
I'll be down in a minute.
It's hard to believe she's the same child.
It has been such a joy to have a child in the house again.
So, there will be a tree for each member of the family, and underneath them there will be an altar. And here, in the center of the room, we shall have the main tree hanging from the ceiling. I shall choose the trees, Herr Pench, and as tradition commands, they must be put up on Christmas Eve. O Tannenbaum, O Tannenbaum, Petrus in deiner Blätter. Victoria, do you know where this tradition of the trees, where it comes from? Pench?
No, sir.
Martin Luther is walking through the forest at night. He looks up, he sees the wintry stars sparkling through the branches, and he thinks, I will take a tree. I will place the tree inside my house. Upon it I will place candles. That way my children may look upon this tree and imagine the stars above Bethlehem on the night of the Nativity. And this year, Victoria, our children will do the same.
I hope they know how lucky they are to have such a devoted father.
Just don't hold with foreign ideas at Christmas, Mr. Francatelli. Bringing entire trees within doors. It ain't Christian.
A letter for you, sir.
Thank you. A kissing bough and a wassail bowl were quite enough when I was a boy.
Not forgetting the most important thing.
Would that be the Christmas pudding, Mr. Francatelli?
No. Mistletoe.
It seems that my application for more shares in a certain northern railway company has been successful. At this rate, this will be the last Christmas I spend at the palace. Next year I shall be sitting down to roast goose in my own residence.
Mr. Penge, the railway baron.
Times are changing. Capital is spreading through the land with the railways, bringing prosperity to master and servant. Perhaps you are happy with your lot. I'm taking my chances. I may have started out as a hall boy, but I shall end my days as a gentleman.
And from the Tsar of all the Russias, 6 crates of imperial sturgeon. From King Louis Philippe of the French, a set of watercolors of your visit to the Chateau d'Eau. From the King and Queen of the 2 Sicilies, a pipe of Madeira. And from a Captain Forbes, a letter informing you that he has a gift for you from King Gizo of Dahomey.
Maybe it's a baby elephant. Tell him to bring whatever it is to the palace.
I'll write to him at once, ma'am.
I've had a letter from the Queen.
The Queen has a nursery full of children, whereas I...
Please, help me to do my duty, Mary. Without it, I'm nothing.
Should we try another corset, ma'am?
Yes. With every baby, I swell up even more. I'll be as big as a balloon by Christmas. Really, it doesn't get any easier. This is going to be the first time without
Baroness Lazen, ma'am.
Try it. There is a surprise waiting for you in the music room.
Mama! Uncle Leopold. What a surprise.
Trina, I'm so happy to hear your news.
I always knew that you and Albert would start a dynasty to transform Europe. Oh, Victoria, Albert, may I present Princess Gertrude von Mecklenburg-Strelitz. She happened to be in London, and so I took the liberty of bringing her here. I don't need to introduce Ernst. You two are old friends. I know how happy you will be to see her again.
Such a beautiful young Mädchen. Do you remember me, Vicky?
Yes, you the lady who always makes Mama cross.
What is, that?
Oh, I thought that now Baroness Lazen has left, that you might need another companion, Trina.
Not in the palace. I'm a respectable woman, Mr. Francatelli.
You know, I'd hope that Mrs. Francatelli would be the model of virtue.
Go away with you. You know we can't get married. I'm called Mrs. Garrett because I'm married to this job. Come on. Come on.
Liebes, have you seen this? It is a card depicting Christmas scenes. It's so charming, no?
How could you invite my mother here without asking me first?
Because Christmas is a time when a family ought to be together, and it is a time of peace and goodwill.
That's why you invited Uncle Leopold as well.
Well, if I can tolerate Leopold after all that is passed between us, then surely you can tolerate your mother. Do you not want our children to grow up remembering this time of year as a magical time?
Yes, of course, Albert. Of course I want our children to be happy.
My apologies, ma'am, but I thought you should know Captain Forbes is here.
Oh, yes, with the present from King Gazo.
Indeed.
Captain Frederick Forbes, Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, this is Sarah, ma'am. Sarah is all that remains of the royal house of Egbardo. King Gazo of Daumi took her family captive, intending to sell them as slaves. But when he realized that the West Africa squadron would not allow this, he cut their throats instead. Most fortunately, Sarah had been forgotten in the carnage, and I was able to save her by saying that her death would displease the greatest queen in the world.
Quite right.
King Gazo then said that he would give Sarah as a gift to you, as a token of friendship from one nation to another.
He's giving me a little girl.
His desire to impress you is the only reason that Sarah is still alive, ma'am.
Well, I'm glad of that.
So am I, ma'am. Sarah she's a most delightful girl, and a very quick learner. She learnt English on the voyage over here, and my wife has already taught her to read and write.
Well, I cannot accept her as a gift, of course. But I think it is only fitting that someone of royal birth should be asked to stay here, at the palace.
Are you sure this is wise?
Sarah is a princess in her own country, Mama. And what could be a better expression of the Christmas spirit than by taking in an orphan who has suffered so very much? I can see you have royal blood, Sarah. I want you to know that you are welcome here. And you will be quite safe.
Ah, this is exactly the tree I have been looking for. Tall, straight, with many branches.
Tall, straight, and with many branches is just a tree, Albert.
Yes, but I have a particular affinity with this one.
You are taking this very seriously.
Do you remember when we were children and we had to wait outside of the great hall at Rosenheim? And we would wait for the bell to ring to allow us to enter. And when we did, there it stood. The Christmas tree. All lit up with candles. Mama and Papa standing beside it, smiling. Do you know, that is the only memory I think I have of them together. It was as if, for one night at least, we were a happy family. And that is what I want my children to feel. I want them to know that Christmas will always be a time of enchantment. A time where everything is perfect.
A baby could be delivered like a parcel. Instead of all of this inconvenience, I feel like such a lump.
Have you decided what to get the prince for Christmas? Perhaps you should sit for Herr Winterhalter. He makes every woman look like a goddess.
That you should have one of your own. When I was a little girl, I took great comfort from my dolls.
Really, ma'am?
They were my friends. You see, in those days, I didn't have any real friends. I used to play with them for hours and pretend they were my ladies in waiting.
I'd like this one.
You'll always have a friend in your doll, Sarah.
Bringing an African child into the palace. I think the Queen must be losing her wits, much like her mad grandfather.
Please, 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 handle the tree with respect. I do not want her to shed her silver finery. Mr. Pinch, this tree shall be suspended by its trunk from the center of the ceiling, and we will have 6 more with tables underneath with presents laid upon them. Now, may I entrust you to oversee all of this?
6 tables and this tree suspended from the ceiling, sir. Will that be all?
Perfection. Good day.
Thank you, sir.
Such extravagance. In my day, we were perfectly happy with an orange.
Shh, Aunt.
I am looking for the Duke of Coburg. I was told by the king that he would be meeting me here.
I saw him go by a minute ago.
I suppose the princess is intended for the Duke.
thought that she and the Duke might one day. How sad to be a widow.
Better a widow than to end one's days an old maid, Wilhelmina.
Harriet? You play beautifully.
I was playing for my own amusement.
Please don't look at me like that.
Very well. I won't look at you at all. That way we can save the confusion.
There you are, cousin. I'm looking forward very much to seeing the Egyptian antiquities at the museum.
Oh, please excuse me.
Lord Alfred is a distinct possibility. Oh, don't look at me like that. Men like Lord Alfred make perfectly good husbands.
I know you mean well, Aunt. But Lord Alfred has given his heart to someone else.
You've been reading too many romantic novels. Men don't give their hearts away. They merely lend them.
Oh, Sarah. There's nothing to be frightened of. She won't hurt you. Let's take them out. Isla, Eos, out.
Trina, this is not sensible.
I know you are trying to be kind, but she is not happy.
No, she just needs to get used to us.
I fear you see only what you wish to see.
Albert, what I see is a little girl who's narrowly escaped death. And while I cannot give her back her family, I know what it is to be overlooked and ignored. I'll make sure it doesn't happen to her.
Is everything all right there, Mrs. Garrett?
Please come to our offices on the 19th at 12 noon. Fancy lawyer at Lincoln's Inn knows something to your advantage.
You're growing up in the world, like Mr. Penge.
Well, as you can see, I have designed it in the Gothic style. Emeralds, they are the Queen's birthstone. Did you know? And you can have this finished in time for Christmas Day.
We've been trying to find you for some time, Miss Harker.
I go by the name of Skerritt now.
It has been most inconvenient. I'm acting on behalf of the estate of the late Mr. Samuel Harker, your paternal uncle.
Didn't know I had an uncle, let alone a paternal one.
Mr. Harker moved as a young man to America and amassed a considerable property in the state of South Carolina. As he died without issue, that property comes to you as his only surviving relative.
And how much is that property worth?
Of course, any figure I could
give you can only be of the most approximate nature. A great deal depends on the fluctuations of the market and the state of the property at the time of sale. But if properly handled, the sale could realize something in the region of $50,000, which is about £10,000.
£10,000.
Approximately. I take it I have your permission to go ahead with the sale of the property?
You do have my permission, Mr. Flitch.
It may take a little time. I believe the slave markets are held on a quarterly basis.
Slave market.
Oh, how remiss of me. Did I omit to mention the late Mr. Harkin was a broker in human flesh, a slave trader. The property you have inherited is some 20 souls, whose particulars are listed in this document here.
Nancy. So how did it go?
Well, an uncle I didn't know I had has left me some property worth £10,000.
Look. A select establishment, a hotel that appeals to the discerning traveller. It could be ours. I am happy.
Oh, here you are. With your hair down, Trina. It is shocking.
Go away, I am asleep. And I will talk to you in your dreams. I believe that is called a nightmare. I am here to remind you about the opera tonight. Princess Gertrude will be there, of course.
Oh, of course.
Mercury powder. I see that you take after my poor unfortunate brother in more ways than one. He too suffered from the wages of sin.
I feel so much better knowing that I'm following in my family's tradition.
Only in your father's footsteps, Ernst. I was always careful to take precautions.
At least now you can stop badgering me to get married.
I see no reason why your indisposition would prevent you from marrying Princess Gertrude.
Because I could ruin her life. The children that we might have could be deformed.
You seem quite healthy, despite your father's proclivities. There is no reason why you should not be perfectly comfortable together.
Comfortable?
There are worse things in life, Ernst. Much better to marry a sensible girl who will not give you any trouble, rather than to marry for love. You had better make yourself presentable. I had known the King of Hanover would be here, I would have worn my Order of the Golden Fleece. It annoys him so. It is the one decoration that he covets.
Annoying people is your métier, Uncle.
Cumberland is here.
Los manillo che lei, che gioia è questa. Siete voi, principie, la sorpresa. Il caso è bello, tacete, addio cervello. Silenzio, silenzio.
Uncle. Please come in.
Victoria? Matilda?
You know each other.
We used to dance together in your grandfather's time.
You have such a very good memory, Matilda. Do you remember the diamond necklace my mother used to wear?
It's one of my favorite pieces.
And you wear it so very well, if I may say so. I will call upon you at the palace, Victoria. Auf Wiedersehen.
Mr. Penge?
You know what this means, Brodie?
I suspect you're going to tell us, Mr. Penge.
It means Cornelius Penge, Esquire, gentleman.
I wouldn't offer your resignation here yet. I heard some of the railway shares have been overvalued.
Not the Leeds Thirsk Railway. That will run like a silver ribbon across the Pennines.
I've heard of Leeds, but where is Thirsk?
Thirsk is a place of great consequence, hence the railway.
Where would I be without your handkerchiefs, Miss Cook?
The opera was quite overwhelming.
You're very kind. Kinder than I deserve.
Awful man. I wonder what he's really doing here.
Most likely just visiting his family for Christmas.
No, he loathes his family. I must say, the feeling is mutual.
Well, I think perhaps you are exaggerating, Victoria.
Albert, he hates me. He hates me because I'm the little girl who stopped him becoming the King of England. Sounds like Sarah.
I am concerned she may disturb the others.
She just needs time to settle into the family, that's all.
To the family? You intend to adopt her?
She has no one else.
I am not sure that that is true.
It's all right. It wasn't real. Oh, ma'am. I think it was a nightmare. I just found her wandering around.
Oh, come here.
It's down there, through the trees.
Come on. Come on, Sarah.
Real slow, Bertie.
That's it. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Squeeze it in your hand. That's all right. You like this ball?
Okay, let's go, Bertie. On we go. Victoria, do you know that my mother, she taught me how to skate? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Perhaps one day we could teach Vicky ourselves.
Harriet, may I?
No, thank you.
You coming?
Would you like to try skating with Sarah?
No, thank you, Your Majesty.
But it's quite safe. Promise.
Victoria, hurry! We are waiting.
I'm going to stay here with Sarah. Would you like to build a snowman?
A snowman?
I'll show you.
Hold tight.
Harriet, are you hurt? You did not twist your ankle.
No, my ankle's fine.
I know you are angry, but there's so much I need to explain.
Princess Gertrude is charming and rich. There's no explanation necessary.
It's not. Harriet.
Keep adding more and more.
Your Majesty.
Yes?
The Duke of Cumberland, sorry, the King of Hanover is here.
Well, you may tell him I'm not at home.
I already did, ma'am. But the King said to tell you he isn't going anywhere without his property.
What property?
Ma'am, he's just through here.
Uncle, I would apologize for keeping you waiting, except I don't remember inviting you.
I have come to retrieve property which belonged to my mother. The very handsome diamond necklace you wore at the opera.
That necklace belongs to me.
I have here a copy of my mother's will, and I appreciate your education was somewhat lacking. Still, you must understand, when it says, my private possessions shall be passed down to my male heirs.
I may not have had a legal education, Uncle, but I do know that possession is 9/10 of the law.
I had so hoped we could resolve this amicably, Victoria. It would be such a shame were it to become public.
That is a risk I'm prepared to take. Duchess, will you show my uncle out? He is no longer welcome here.
And if I refuse to go?
Then I'm sure the Duchess would be happy to entertain you. Uncle Cumberland is here.
Here?
Do you know what he wanted?
I'm sure you are about to tell me.
My necklace. He says that in terms of my grandmother's will, it belongs to him.
Oh, well, I shall take a look at the wording, but if it does belong to the House of Hanover, I'm sure you'll have to give it back.
So you think I should just hand it over?
That would be the wisest course.
Of course. We mustn't spoil Christmas. I'll give Cumberland what he wants, and then we can all sing carols under the tree.
I see no reason to invite your uncle for Christmas. Although I do think the Duchess of Buccleuch would enjoy his company.
Albert, can you imagine what it was like for me as a child? To see that man and know that his dearest wish was that I would die. Mama made me sleep in her room for 18 years because she thought that he might try and murder me.
And yet you survived. You know, it is just a necklace, Victoria.
Aren't you going to try and help me?
I'm sure that you can manage. I mean, you achieve most things unaided.
Lazen would have agreed with me about the necklace.
Yes, of course Lazen would have agreed with you. That was Lazen's great talent.
No, Albert! No, she understood me!
Oh, and you think that I do not? I see. Well, I have learned from experience, Victoria, it is not beneficial to discuss things with you when you are like this. And I do not wish to quarrel. Particularly at this time of year, so I shall go and supervise the decorations.
good to cry, Your Majesty. Mrs. Forbes told me that crying does not make things better when I'm sad because I miss my mother.
Well, Sarah, Mrs. Forbes is right.
Are you crying because you miss your mother?
My mother? No. I'm crying because I miss someone who was like a mother to me.
When I am sad, and Mrs. Forbes says I mustn't cry, I make this face. Try it.
Me?
Try it. Squeeze your eyes tight and stick your tongue out as far as it can go.
Like this.
Yes. Feel better, Your Majesty? That's good.
Why aren't you in the nursery, Sarah?
I came to see the parrot. He's reminding me of my home.
Do you remember your home?
I remember my mother. She used to sing to me. She'd sing every night, and it put me to sleep. Mrs. Forbes sings too. She told me I'm musical.
Did she? I'm sure you are, Sarah. I'm sure you are.
Your Majesty, welcome to the servants' ball, Your Royal Highness. May I have the honor, ma'am?
I had forgotten what a good dancer you are, Kent.
Any man would be light on his feet with such a partner, ma'am.
Do you remember the servants' ball at Kensington? So charming.
So what I remember is that you allowed me to come downstairs. For 10 minutes, precisely. And then I spent the rest of the evening in the nursery. With Lazen.
Don't you have any happy memories of Kensington?
The regrettable incident yesterday with the King of Hanover and the necklace. I think you should talk to him. I'm sure there is an accommodation to be made.
He has a legitimate claim. Now, if you will excuse me, please, I have a duty to dance with the dresses.
And no obligation to talk to me. I wonder why you have asked me here at all, Albert.
I invited you because it is Christmas. You are part of this family. But that does not mean I wish to speak to you.
You have become quite the Englishman.
Mr. Penge.
Good evening, sir.
Will you be dancing the polka this evening?
If I can find a similarly radiant partner, I might just do that, sir.
Oh, but Brody tells me that you two have caught the railway fever. I trust that it has been a profitable affliction for you.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy your evening, Mr. Penge.
Princess Gertrude is without a partner, Ernst.
I'm sure Penge will oblige.
Think of Coburg. You can pay all your debts and have enough for other amusements.
I have no wish for amusements, Uncle. What I truly care about is right here.
Don't you have a partner? The maids will be so disappointed if you don't give them a turn.
I find I'm not so light on my feet these days, Miss Cook.
Forgive me, Lord Alfred. I'm going to do something indelicate.
You have to leave.
I have to leave. No.
Before we do something that we might regret.
I will regret nothing. Nothing. I don't care if you marry her. I know you don't love her.
It is true that I have wanted this since the first moment we met, but it is a funny thing. You see, now that you are here and so very available, I find that the prospect is less appealing than I had imagined.
What?
I must apologize for my inconsistencies. I have discovered that I only have interest in the forbidden fruits.
Still up?
I can't sleep.
At least you are not contemplating the ruin of your life's hopes.
What do you mean?
I did not profit from railway fever. The Leeds and Thirsk Railway Company is no more, and with it have gone my savings and any dream I may have had of becoming a gentleman.
Well, Mr. Finch, it seems we're in the same boat.
I understood you had come into some property.
So I have. The property consists of 12 men, 7 women, and 1 8-year-old girl child without any visible blemishes.
That is an invidious legacy.
I just thought I'd sign some papers and that was that. I didn't have faces.
Every human being deserves the dignity, the right to make their own decisions. Even if they decide on something as stupid as buying shares in a railway that goes nowhere in particular. We may be servants, Mrs. Skerritt, but we are not slaves.
Good night.
Dear Mrs. Forbes, the Queen has bought me a doll. She says it will be my friend. I'm scared when the dogs jump around and when the white rain comes. But don't worry, Mrs. Forbes. I tried to be brave, just like you told me to be. But I hope that one day I can eat currant buns again in the kitchen with you. Love, Sarah.
My dear Duchess, forgive me, but have you been paying a visit to my nephew? You are not the only woman he has reduced to tears tonight. Princess Gertrude has decided to return to Mecklenburg-Strelitz. I wonder if Ernst has told you of his condition.
Miss Cook!
Lord Alfred, I want to give you something.
You know what the prince says? No presents until Christmas Eve.
This is a private present. Florence Villiers wrote to me and asked if I would like a lock of Mr. Drummond's hair, and I feel now that some time has passed, you would like it.
Miss Cook! Miss Cook! Wilhelmina!
Please don't say you're offended.
No, I'm not offended, Miss Cook. Wilhelmina, I don't think I could have endured these last few months without you.
I'm so glad I could help.
No, you are a pearl among women, Miss Cook.
You always exaggerate, so...
Perhaps. But I wanted to ask you something. Wilhelmina, will you make me the happiest of men? Promise I'm not exaggerating.
Are you sure?
Quite sure.
But what about...
There's more than one kind of love.
Oh, Thebes. Is this not magnificent?
Where's Sarah's tree?
Sarah, I thought perhaps she could share with Alice. There was no room for another.
But if Vicky and Bertie have their own tree, then Sarah must have one as well.
Sarah will not mind sharing.
Oh, but of course she will mind. She's part of the family now.
Part of the family. I'm not sure it is quite as simple as that.
Albert, why do you have to be so difficult? If I say she's part of the family, then she is.
Did it never occur to you that perhaps you should consult me before making this decision?
Consult you?
It is our family, Victoria. We should make these decisions together.
Well, who invited my mother here for Christmas? I don't remember you consulting me.
That is not the same.
Albert, you think Christmas is about trees and presents. Well, I think it's about showing kindness to someone who has nothing.
Is that what you are doing?
What do you mean?
I mean, Sarah may well be a princess, but you and her, you are not the same.
I know that.
No, she has lost everything. Her family, her country, her friends.
Yes, I know that. Why else do you think I'm offering her a home?
She had a home at the Forbes. You know, I think all of this bringing her to the palace, it is an opportunity for you to show your mother how a daughter ought to be treated.
No, it's nothing. It is nothing to do with my mother.
No, Victoria, I think it has everything to do with your mother. This poor girl, she is so unhappy. She's miserable, and you are blind to it.
Blind?
You are only thinking of yourself.
Manumission? My dear young lady, do you understand what that means?
If it means that 20 human beings will have their freedom, then yes.
But the This is a very substantial legacy you're giving away. Is there no man who can give you advice?
I don't need a man to tell me what's right, Mr. Flitch.
Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day. Ah, Ernst. Are you familiar with these English carols? I like them very, very much. Ernst, please. No. Do not play with those, please. I had them handmade in Bohemia. I do not wish for them to be broken.
Yeah, please.
Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. You see, I knew that would happen.
Well, you were right, Albert, as always. I apologize.
Why does everything have to be so difficult?
It's just a glass bauble.
No, just... All I want is for my children to have the same Christmas that you and I had as children.
If by that you mean a Christmas where everyone is miserable but pretending not to be, then I think you are doing splendidly.
And what does that mean?
That Christmas you remember so fondly. Mama and Papa by the tree. Well, that was the night that Mama left. Or rather, that was the night that Papa forced her to go.
Oh. No. They were happy. I remember.
But what you do not remember is that Mama's cheeks were shining as she sang because they were wet with her tears. You, Albert, are trying to recreate something that never existed.
No, not for you, perhaps. But no, it will always be perfect for me. It's what Mama wanted. She wanted I to be happy, and I will give that to my children.
You want your children to remember pasted-on smiles? To believe in something that was not real?
No, I want for them to be whole.
You cannot protect them from everything, Albert. No one escapes unhappiness. Not even you.
Mama, can we open our presents?
Not now, darling. Tomorrow. Where is Sarah?
Probably in some corner somewhere.
Have you seen Sarah this morning?
No, ma'am.
Maybe she's outside in the snow.
Sarah? Sarah! Sarah?
Oh, Your Majesty. Look who I found curled up in the amber drawing room with a parrot.
What's her name?
Aina.
Aina.
Was that your name in your country?
Do you think that Aina might like to see Captain Forbes?
Aina would like to see Mrs. Forbes.
Do you think that she might like to stay with them?
No one is to come in here.
Will you not make an exception for me? I hear you have been skating on thin ice.
I was rather foolish.
What I said earlier, it was not kind. But, you see, I was angry. Because I would never have all of this. After Papa died, I went to Paris. Because of that visit, I have an illness. An illness which means I cannot marry the woman that I love.
Ernst. Why did you not tell me?
Because I'm ashamed.
I'm supposed to be older and wiser.
You ever forgive me?
Nancy. You know, I hope that if you'd asked me what to do, I'd have given you the right answer.
I know you would.
But, will you give me the right answer to my question?
What question, Mr. Francatelli?
Will you take a man with nothing except his pastry brush? Ooh, to have and to hold from this day forward?
If you'll take a woman who's given up a fortune.
They'll dismiss us if they find out.
I don't care.
Neither do I. I want you so much, Nancy.
Not as much as I want you, Charles.
I believe she has been missing you, Mrs. Forbes.
Not as much as I've been missing her, Your Majesty.
I thought I was doing the right thing, bringing her to the palace. But I can see it's no substitute for what you can give her. I will continue to support her, of course, but I believe Sarah will be much happier with you.
Thank you, ma'am. Come on, let's go home.
Thank you.
Sarah? I've given you something to look after for me.
How peaceful London looks in the snow. I know about the mercury, Ernest. Did you really think it would make any difference?
How could I live with myself, knowing that I had dragged you down to my level?
How can you say that?
This is for your sake. You and I can never be, Harriet.
But Alice, it's all I want. I just want to be here by your side.
We are star-crossed, my love.
Yes, Albert. Magical.
We have to wait for the bell to ring before we can go in. Listen for the bell. Listen carefully. Where's the bell? Where does it go? It's Christmas Eve.
Many congratulations, Lord Alfred. Wilhelmina.
Where's Sarah?
She's gone to live with the captain and Mrs. Forbes. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You know that I tried always to do my best for you, Trina.
Maybe you did.
Your Majesty, the King of Hanover is here. The King of Hanover!
I can't believe you would come here today of all dates.
Why not wait and see what he has to say? My apologies for disturbing your festivities, but I have come to say goodbye. My dear niece, I have decided that I have no use for diamonds after all. You may consider the necklace a Christmas present. Good evening.
Please. Come and sit down.
Room may be made for you here, sir.
I suppose it is you I must thank for this change of heart.
There's no need to thank me, Albert. The Duchess of Buccleuch was most helpful. She told me that the king stays in an apartment in St. James's Palace when he is in London. An apartment that belongs to the crown.
Even so, I would like to thank you. I have a present. I designed this myself. For you.
Albert. Exquisite. I have something for you.
For me?
Yes.
Oh.
You don't like it? You think it's too shocking?
On the contrary, I have never seen a painting before which does you justice.
Now, as a girl, I used to dread this time of year. I'd be sent upstairs to the nursery alone. And Liaison would always arrive with a huge box of marron glacé. It's the only thing I look forward to.
I know you miss her. Very much. We are no longer children.
No.